tapping. Okay. There we go. So we're going to tap along the sternum, up and down the sternum. Tap along the rib cage, around the ends of the ribs here. Come back up the sternum, back down the ribs. Just like a tune-up for the immune system. We're going to start working on that pretty soon. Next, we take the hands like, we're going to make like comb fingers, and we're going to go right down the center of the scalp to the base of the skull. I'm going to come along the crest, and then from the temples, right above the ears, and we'll do that again. Do that one more time. Now we're going to lightly tap the head. You can use the tips of the fingers like this, or you can use the pads of the fingers. You especially want to tap along the base of the skull. That's a very, very good place there. There's a lot of fascia there. And when you relax fascia, it spreads through the body. So we want to tap along the base of the skull. And we're going to come over to the ears, and we're going to gently tug on the earlobes. I'm going to take the thumb and finger like this, rub the ear and the earlobe. And then we're going to massage around the rim of the ear, the outer rim of the ear. And when we come to the flat part up here, you want to give that a nice massage. I'm going to work that all. I do it with the thumb and the index finger. Do them both. I turn the hands one way, and then I go the other way. There are 2 Shen Men points in that flat part of the ear, and they're very calming for the spirit. Very good, relaxing. Now we're going to massage down the inside of the ear where the cartilage is, and we're going to work on that a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to lightly flick the ears, the fingers. Okay, now I'm going to stand up a little easier, and we're going to tap from the top of the head, right down the back of the neck, back to the shoulders. We're going to tap under the collarbone. And we're going to tap, we're going to take the index fingers and locate the collarbone, just slide the fingers along the collarbone. And when you get to the end of the collarbone, drop down a little bit on the sternum and press in that hollow area. That's a kidney 27. That's a very, very famous acupuncture point. And we're going to press on that, and we're going to tap. Take your fingers like this and tap. It's very good for the immune system, very good for clearing the head, and to help with the sinuses. We're going to take our thumbs and put the thumbs underneath the collarbone and bring the shoulders up, the arms, the elbows up and forward, and that opens up the hollow there. That's called the shoulder's nest, and we're going to massage in there. And you may find that that's very tender. If it's tender, you may have a little blockage, and it's good to work on that. Work at it at your own discretion there. I like to go after it a little bit. It really helps the sinuses, really helps clear the head. And as with many things in Qi Gong, you may not notice it immediately, but within a few minutes, you may find your head feels lighter and clearer. And, so now we're going to go back to tapping. We're going to tap the shoulder. Tap down the arm. Up the inside of the arm. And then we're going to tap down the side. Back up. And do the other shoulder. down the outside of the arm, inside. We're going to tap down the rib cage again. We're going to come to the belly. And we're going to go around to the kidney area. Now you can massage your kidneys with the bird's mouth point in the hands like this. And also rub up and down as far as you can, whatever you're comfortable with. If you're just comfortable doing a little tapping, just a little tapping is fine. But if you can rub up and down, there are meridians that run back there that are also very good for the immune system. So we'll spend a little time on that today. It's getting warm out. I'm starting to get excited about the weather changing. Who knows? About a third of the sidewalks in my neighborhood are clear, no ice. So I'm looking forward to that. Now we're going to tap down the legs. The inside of the legs. Go around to the kidney area again. And we'll tap down the legs again. Side the legs. And we'll do the kidneys one more time. And we'll do the legs again, last one. Now, you can stay standing if you're comfortable. I'm going to sit for just to show the people who are seated one thing. We're going to do a next set of exercises called a Procade, and we do these nice light stretches. Now, the light stretches are to relax the nerves and the fascia and open up the energy meridians. So when you're seated in a chair, you want to pay attention to this part of the body right here, the midriff. You want to have the midriff open. If your midriff is shut down, if you put your hands there and you feel it open up as you stand up, that's what you want to keep the midriff open. So that's when you're standing, it's a little easier. When you're seated, especially with the way our chairs are in the West, sometimes you have to sit forward on the chair. So we're going to stand, and now we're going to support the heavens with both hands. We're going to sink down a little, and then we're going to come up. Do that one more time. Very good. Now, we're going to step out into what's called the horse stance. Horse stance is a little wider than shoulder width, and you want to relax the lower back. You point the tailbone to the floor. The easiest way to do that is to just tilt the hips a little bit. So you're going to tilt the pelvis, cross the arms in front of the chest, and we're going to go to the left, because it's called draw the bow. We're going to watch the hand that's drawing the bow out. Then we're going to come back to the center. Draw the bow to the other side. Open up the sternum, open up the ribs. And we'll do one more. Now we're going to come back. We're going to press towards heaven and earth. We're going to press up and down at the same time. Come back. And we'll do one more. Now we're going to cross the hands in front of the chest, left over right. We're going to let the hands drop down and away from the body and turn, but we're only going to turn 70%. We don't want to twist the spine a lot here. We want to just turn, and as we're turning, have the hands go down, and then look over the shoulder. Now we'll come back to center, turn to the right, look over the shoulder, do that again. 70%, nice, relaxing movement, opening up the acupuncture meridians, keeping everything within 70%. We don't want to go 100% here. And we'll do one more. Now we're just going to do a nice now we'll go back to the horse stance. And in this exercise, we're again flattening the lower back. So the lower back is flat, hips are tilted a little bit, hands comfortably on just below the hips here. And we're going to let the body go. We're stretching the trunk from one side to the other. And just kind of let the head go. We're not pushing anything. Very relaxing movement. Now, we're going to come to the center. We're going to fold here at the quad, look between the legs, and come up. So the back stays relatively straight when we do that. And when we come up, we raise the chin. That gives a nice light stretch up the front of the spine. Now we'll do that again. Standing. And to the other side. Folding at the quad, look between the legs. And come up. Raise the chin. Very good. We'll do that one more time. Now we'll do just the neck. We're going to have the ear go to the shoulder and to the other side. And we're going to tuck the chin and raise the back of the head. And raise the chin. Boy, on camera, you can't see me raising my head at all. It's just the angle. But we'll go along here, side to side. Relax the jaw, tuck the chin, lift the back of the head. And then raise the chin. Do that one more time. Very good. Okay. Now we'll come back. I'm going to just do a nice clearing here. Bring the hands down to the sides. We're going to reach toward the toes. And again, you go down 70%, around the toes, up the inside of the legs, to the belt, around the waist, and we'll raise the chin again, and then we'll do that again. And we'll do it one more time. Very good. Now we're going back to the horse stance. Last time for the horse stance, we're going to make two loose fists. We have palm up, palm down, and just kind of lightly clench the fist. We're going to turn to the left. We're going to do a spiral punch twice. We come to the center, do that again, up the right side, back to the left, center, and the right. One more time. Very good. Last one. This exercise is called raising the heels to ward off all illness. You just want to come up on your toes a little bit and drop. You don't actually have to drop if you just kind of bounce. That's also good. The main thing is to be nice and loose. So if you're loose, that is good for the lymphatic system, good for the immune system. Good. Now we're just going to loosen up the shoulders. We're going to rotate the arms, move the shoulder blades. And we'll rotate the arms in the other direction. Let the shoulder blades move forward. Now we're going to do a variation on Black Dragon Enters Cave. We're going to have one foot forward, the other foot back, roughly on a 45-degree angle. We're going to shift the weight forward and we're going to shift the weight back. Now, the camera, it looks like I'm leaning forward. It just does. But we're keeping the back erect, vertical, keeping the spine vertical as we shift forward. And then when we shift back, we're sinking and we're also keeping the spine upright. Hands by the hips. We're going to start on the back foot, shift the weight forward, bring the hands up about the height of your collarbone, and then come back. That's the basic move. Now, I want to show you something. There's a little trick to this. If you focus your attention right out at a point that's about 3 or 4 feet in front of you, just right level with your nose, have your eyes focused there. And when the hands come up, let your peripheral vision watch the hands, okay? So my eyes are focused here, but I'm aware, I'm watching my hands. And using the peripheral vision is very relaxing. It opens us up. We tend to forget about ourselves and our limited little ego. And it's one of the reasons I think that it's so nice to go up to the lake, and you go up to Lake Ontario, your vision just opens up and you take it all in. And what the technical term for it is that it diminishes the sense of the separate self. So you feel like you're part of what's going on, and you're using your peripheral vision. Same thing if you look at a beautiful scenery. Go up in the mountains in the Adirondacks or something, you look out, you see all this stuff, and you just open up. So today, we don't have a lake or a river or an ocean or something to look at. We've got our hands. So we're going to do this exercise, come up, and as we shift back, we're going to watch the hands. Shifting forward. Do one more. And we'll put the other foot forward. Same thing. Get nice and comfortable. You can shift back and forth. Now I'm going to bring the hands up. Watch the hands. We'll do one more. Very good. Now we're going to come to, we're going to do 5 element Qi Gong, and you can do this seated. Just keep the midriff open. We're going to do it standing, so it's a little different, but you still want a nice upright posture. You want to keep the midriff open. So we're going to have the feet flat on the floor, and we're going to relax the hips. You have the knees bent very slightly. If you lock and unlock the knees, you'll find a spot where you feel comfortable. I'm going to rotate the arms a little bit. This rounds the shoulders, sinks the chest a little bit, and again, opens up the upper back. And you want the head floating. You want your head to feel nice and loose, just floating on top of the neck. Top of the head lifted up. And you want the tip of the tongue resting on the roof of the mouth, just behind the teeth. Breathe naturally, smoothly. And again, if you have your hand on your belly, you just want to feel the belly expanding. Try, this is belly breathing, but you want to go real slow with this, real easy. Okay, now we'll begin. Hands comfortably by the sides. Now we'll have the hands come up the central channel, fingers pointing toward the ceiling. And we're going to bring the palms back down, facing the body, just below the navel. Hold this, let the breath sink down into the belly. Let your awareness go with it. Just want to think about your breathing, follow your breathing, be aware of your breathing. Just let it be nice and smooth. Now we have the hands come up again. We're just going to take a moment to be aware of the palms facing each other, soften the hands, soften the palms, and then we're going to open and close. You want to feel like the hands are pushing against a gentle resistance and compressing, like making the air thicker. So here we're pushing the air away, and here we're squeezing the air together. Funny sounding thing, but just want to move the hands slowly. Now for the next element, we're just going to sink down and come up. And as we sink, we're folding here. So we're folding. Back stays relatively straight. A little bit of a stretch here, but it's very gentle. Now the hands come up again. Back to the earth position. And we're going to do water one more time. Sink down and come up. Now, hands come up again. Back to earth. Now we're going to turn the palms up. We're going to bring the hands up about as high as the collarbone. And then we're going to go back down. So it's like we're describing a circle with our hands. And the hands come up. Back to earth. Bring the hands over to the side channel here. And we have the palms facing each other. We're going to open, hands up, move the palms together. Do that again. Now we're going to shift over to the other side. Turn the hands, open. to center. Bring the hands up. Almost done. I have the hands come back to the sides, go back to the starting position. We're going to stay in this nice, calm, relaxed state. We're going to move the feet a little wider than shoulders width. And we're going to do cloud hands. And to do that, we're going to flatten the lower back again. And this time, we're going to focus on the tailbone. We're going to point the tailbone to the floor. And when we shift the weight, you want to be aware of the tailbone pointing to that ankle. Shift the weight to the other side. Now the tailbone's pointing toward the other ankle. So we're going to shift back and forth. Okay. And now we're going to do what's called a quad turn. Quad turn, if you have your hands on the side of your legs and put the thumbs in the inguinal crease, this is where the thighs meet the torso. If you turn, and you turn without twisting the spine, you're keeping the shoulders and the hips lined up, you'll find that this thumb sinks in and this knee comes forward. So you're sinking on one side and the knee is coming forward on the other side. And you can do this seated. If you're seated, you'll be sliding on what I call them the sit bones. So you'll be sitting and the knee will still move a little bit. It's nice doing it seated actually because you don't put any pressure on your knees. In this, if you're standing, you want to just get into a sweet spot where there's not a lot of twisting going on with the knees. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to shift the weight and turn, and then shift to the other side and turn. So it's shifting, turning, shifting, and turning. Okay. The hand movements start with the palms facing the body just below the navel. And the movement is the hands are going up and down the central channel. So this is your central channel right here. But when we turn, it looks like the hands are going off to the side, but they're not. They're still going up and down that central channel. So here the hands are in the centered position. Then we shift the weight and turn, and the hand comes up. Back to center, we're going to shift and turn. Back to center, shift and turn again. So let's pay attention to this hand. This hand is pressing down, the other hand floats up. So we're at the center, pressing down, floating up. And the hand doesn't have to come up very high. The fingertips can come up about as high as the chin, somewhere between the chin and the nose. That'll be fine. And we'll do one more. Very good. Now we're going to do the Taoist Arm Swing. We're just going to have the arms be nice and loose. And we're going to turn, shift and turn. And just let the arms go along with the momentum of the body. So if the body moves, the momentum takes the arms. So again, move the arms. If the arms are just kind of flopping around, you're doing very well with this exercise. You want the arms and shoulders to be very loose, very relaxed. And then when as you get comfortable with that, you can work on shifting the weight, keeping the spine upright. Okay, so you turn to this side, the spine is still upright. Turn to this side, even though you're shifting the weight, the spine is still vertical. So that's that relaxation spreads. It spreads from the shoulders right down to the torso. And eventually you get to where everything in here in the middle is nice and loose. And this exercise gives a nice massage to the internal organs because the fascia just kind of lets loose. And okay, good. Now we're going to do a nice light spine stretch, and this can also be done seated very well. I'm going to turn a little bit, but I think it's easier to see. In this exercise, the hands are parallel, palms facing each other. And when the hands come up like this, the shoulders move away from the spine. So there's a light stretch here, light stretch going on between the shoulder blades. So the hands come up and there's that light stretch. Hands come up, you have that light stretch and you hold it. And that stretch will start to fade, and then the stretch goes into the chest. So the elbows come out to the sides, hands go around to the back of the head and touch the base of the skull. Then the elbows come forward, hands come forward, and you look down slightly, tilt the pelvis forward, press down, and come up. And then you relax, and then you do a little deeper bend. Bring the neck forward, arms come forward and back, press down, come up, and relax. We'll do that again. Hands come up, touch the base of the skull, bring the elbows forward, hands follow, press down, come up and relax. Now, second part, still very gentle, gently, gently. Do that one more time. That wraps up the opening the energy gates Taoist water method. And we already did the breathing and the standing, so we can now do the Qi Revolution workout. The warm up for Dragon Tiger, for the 3 Dragon Tiger exercises that we're going to do, we're going to move the palms forward and back and shift the weight forward to the toes, sink back into the heels. So we're shifting forward, coming up, shifting back and sinking. Rising, sinking. Now for Dragon Tiger 1, we got the meridians open. We had the Qi moving between the upper and lower part of the body. Now we're going to, this is a Qi balancing exercise. And we're going to, in this exercise, it's like we're coming to the Qi and we're connecting to the shoulders nest here. So the hand is going up and down the side channel. You want to feel like you're lifting a palm full of air. So you want your palm to be soft and open and very relaxed. And you're kind of scooping up Then you're lightly pressing down. The hand comes down to the qua, over to the hip, and then you let the fingers go down, around the toes, come right up through the groin. Pull that palm full of air up, press down, over to the hip, around the toe, pull up again, press down. Same thing with the other hand. We're going to go around the toe, pull up from the quad to the shoulder's nest, lightly press down and release. Pull from here, lift that air, soften the hands and release. Okay. Now we'll do it with both hands. Come up, press down, other hand floats up, press down. Now when the hand comes up, the heel comes up. So the heel comes up on the foot on the same side as the hand that's floating up. I'm going to turn a little bit to the side so that you can see that a little better. I think you can see it a little better. Yeah. Okay. And we'll do one more. And we'll go to the fourth move. The fourth move is easy to learn if you're seated. And in the fourth move, we're moving the shoulder blades side to side. So we're kind of moving the shoulders sideways. And the easiest way I find to do that is to let the elbows lead. So the elbow pulls this shoulder blade away, and then when it comes in, it pushes the shoulder blade in. And the interesting part is to do this without hunching up the shoulders. I tend to tense up my shoulders, and you don't want to do that. So keep the shoulders down and loose. It doesn't have to be a very big movement. It can just be 1/4 of an inch, just moving the shoulders from side to side, okay? Now, the hand movements are very simple. Hand movements, you have beak, what they call beak hands. Trying to see, yeah, there you can see. My fingertips are touching. All fingertips and the thumb are all touching, and I'm just gathering in towards the heart. So I'm just pulling into the heart, right into the heart area. The other hand is pulling, same thing, making beak hands. It's like you're stretching taffy. You're stretching out here, and there's a spiral and soft release. So one hand comes in, gathers in, and the other hand is nice, soft release. So you're gathering, this is the in part, and releasing, that's the yang part, okay? And the eyes follow to watch the hand that's releasing. Okay. That's basic hand and shoulder movements. I'm going to stand up The leg movements are very small. The heel just comes up a little bit and you shift the weight just a little bit. So we're going to do the same exercise. We're going to do a little transition move here. We're going to have the hands come up the side channels, out to the sides. Then we're going to gather in, release, gather in to the other side, shift the weight, and release. So the heel comes up a little bit on that back leg. Now it doesn't have to come up a lot. And we'll do one more. Very good. Now, for Dragon Tiger number 5, we're going to have the palms. We're going to line up the palms with the dantian. The dantian is about 2 or 3 finger widths below the navel, inside the body. And we're going to connect from that center point. This is like an energy terminal inside the body. We're going to connect from there, around the body, past the kidneys to a point on the spine. So it's from here where the navel is, right straight behind to the spine. Now, you make that connection mostly with your intention. So you're focused here. You're focusing as just put your mind down here in the belly. Let the hands go well around the hips. Push past the kidneys. Make that connection to the spine. Come back to the center. Now we're going to pull up a little bit with the beak hands. We're going to pull up and drop. So it's like a quick little pulse. And the main thing is it's not to jar anything loose. It's just to come up, and this is smooth and quick. And we'll do one more. Okay. Good. That's the Qi Rev workout. That's the balancing the Qi, opening the heart, and freeing up stuck Qi. Those are the 3 exercises that we just did. Now we're going to do wave hands like clouds. So you've got all this energy. There's a nice way to work with it a little bit. We're going to take the left hand and we're going to turn the palm away. We're going to watch that left hand as we turn. And again, we're turning with the waist, not twisting the spine, just turning at the waist. Then we let the hand go down, turn back to center, bring the hand up. It's a very simple move. The hand really isn't moving much. We're just letting the waist turn, move the hand. Same thing to the other side. Right hand comes up, and then turn to the right. Right hand goes down, back to center, come up. Now we're going to have the left hand come up, and turn, change hands, shift the weight, turn, change hands. Right hand comes up, shift the weight and turn, change hands, shift and turn. Now this is a nice, comfortable, small frame movement. And one of the fun things you can do with wave hands like clouds is you can open it up and you can move the hands. If you want to make a nice big move, you can open that up into what they call a large frame movement. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to work a little bit with the lower hands. The lower hands are just going to stay here by the body. And when we turn and shift the weight and turn, the hands really aren't moving that much. They're hardly moving at all. So you shift the weight and turn, the hands are just going along for the ride. Same thing to the other side. I'm not moving my hands from side to side. The hands are staying right here. Shifting and turning, shifting the weight, turning the waist, keeping the spine, not twisting the spine. We'll do that one more time, and now we're going to bring the left hand up, turn to the left, change hands, turn to the right. And we'll do one more. Now we're going to bring the hands up towards the center. With the palms lined up, open here and close. You almost want to feel like there's like a magnetic force between the palms. It's like two magnets pulling away, and this is like pushing two magnets together. So you're opening. Now, we keep the hands on the side channels, and we're going to do circling hands. We're going to move the hands forward and back. So this is how we're moving the hands. And when you're learning this exercise, you want to just focus on making a nice, smooth circle. You don't want any stoppage. You want to keep it going nice and smoothly. And you want to make sure your breath is nice and smooth also. You want to hold your breath. Keep the breath going, moving, nice and smooth. And we'll do one more. Have the hands come to the back of the circle, close to the body, and now we'll reverse, go in the other direction. Do one more. Now we're going to put one foot forward, the other foot back, and we're just going to shift the weight forward. We're still doing a vertical circle. We shift the weight back, come up. We'll do one more. And we'll put the other foot forward. Same thing. Shift the weight, bring the hands forward. And we'll do one more. And we're almost done. Last exercise, we're going to bring the hands up. And then slowly let the hands come down, pressing down, sinking down, and rise up. Again, bring the hands up. You're going to press down with the palms and the underside of the forearms. Sink all the way down into the feet. We'll do one more. Very good. That's it. It's 11:57 and we're done.